Hello, YouTube. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. It's time again, not for the knife of the day, but over the weekends, what I do is I shoot one of my collections. I call them the sub collections, and we're going to shoot that today. And the knife that we're going to do is the Spyderco Delica. I have a lot more Spyderco Delicas than what you see right here in my hands. So let's get to it. Now, I'll tell you, I'm one of those collectors. I collect a lot of things. I go crazy on stuff. And I'm what they call a set collector. A set collector, believe it or not, is someone who just wants to get one of each kind of something. So I collect silver coins. And all I wanted to do is get one of each of the coins. And then all of a sudden you start enjoying one part of the set and then another. And then those start expanding. So when I set out to do Spyderco, I knew they had made a lot of knives, and they make a lot of knives. Wait 1 second. Sorry about that. And they make a lot of knives. And what I wanted to do is get every Spyderco knife. And I'm still trying to do that. There are so many Spydercos. And that's why I have a lot of the classic knives, etc. I just wanted one. But then I came across the Delica, the Endura, the Paramilitary II, the Native, a whole bunch of different knives that just had so many different variations that over time they became their own collections. So this is what I would call a standard Spyderco Delica is. This is the Delica 4. It's a Spyderco Delica. Usually it has a full flat grind on the blade, and usually the blade is VG10. Now remember, this is your standard Delica. The blade is just under that 3-inch mark to make it legal everywhere. 2.9. It's between 2.9 inches and 3 inches. The blade is, the edge of the blade is 2.6 inches. The entire knife is 7.1 inches. And usually you find it with the FRN scales. That's fiberglass reinforced nylon. I think Spyderco does that better than any other. It's lightweight. It's almost indestructible. I keep calling it space age plastic. It feels like plastic, but of course it's a lot stronger than that. It's just a real nice knife. And it has bi-directional grips. So it really helps stick to you. And then the regular Spyderco clip. And of course, it's a back lock. Spyderco does great back locks. Very strong, very snappy. So this is the standard Spyderco. And my first purchase of the Spyderco Delica, standard Delica. Let's close it because we're going to end up with a lot of knives here. And I also bought the trainer. Spyderco has trainers for some of their knives. They have a Delica trainer. And basically, because they sell a lot of Delicas to professionals, etc., I bought it. I also have one for the Endura and for the Yojimbo. I'll tell you, they are expensive. One reason is they want it to be exactly like the knife. So it weighs the same amount. The blade is the same. Now the steel, they use cheaper steel, AUS-6 steel, because you're not stabbing anyone. There is no edge. There's a lot of points that you can use to flip open a knife or do whatever you want to do with it. A real backlog. Everything is the same except there's no edge and no point, and that's a trainer for it. And yes, I bought one, and what you just saw was the total amount of training I've done with it. Of course, when Spyderco came out with their burnt orange collection, HAP 40 SUS steel, the HAP 40 steel, you can see it's beneath the line, and it's covered with SUS 410. This was a sprint run. They did the Endura, I always try to remember, Endura, Delica, Stretch, the Dragonfly, the Man Bug, and the Ladybug, and now they're coming out with a number of other burnt orange programs as well. Sprint Run, limited edition, usually 1,200 plus or minus 200, and once they're bought, they're gone. Of course, you're seeing Spyderco come out with a lot of knives in HAP 40. In fact, later on, I'll show you another Delica in HAP 40. But it's basically the standard version, except a super steel with HAP 40. HAP 40 is not a stainless steel, so you have to take care of it. But of course, you know, the only difference between this fiberglass reinforced nylon handle and that one is that it's burnt orange. So that's the HAP 40. I really like the Delica with a titanium handle. Now, I believe that the Delica and the Endura with tie handles and a regular blade, a satin blade, is still available. It has not been discontinued. This is discontinued. This is the Delica with a Damascus blade. It's a Japanese Damascus blade. VG10 steel is the core of this, and then they have 15 other steels smashed together into Damascus on one side, covering the VG10, and on the other, another 15 different steels put together. Some of them stainless, some of them not, but together they all are a great stainless steel covering Damascus. It's a real nice knife. Again, all of the knives that I show you will have the basic 2.9 inch blade, 7.1 inch total. The weight will not be 2.5 ounces like the FRN scales because of the handles, but you get the deal. This is really a beautiful knife. When I found that, I went crazy, and then I found this and went insane. Of course, these are Sprint Run knives. They have a brown and a blue jig bone handle. Nice weight to them, just beautiful. The bolsters are stainless steel, not stainless steel, I'm sorry. The bolsters are titanium. You can see them anodized, this one in blue, this one in gold to match the brown. Plus they have the Damascus steel. And look at the back. I mean, with the work. Now remember, these are production knives. Granted, they're limited production knives because they're sprint runs. But look how beautiful. By far my favorite Delicas. They've done the same thing with the Enduras. You'll see that when I go over that collection. Oh, is that beautiful or what? And look at the bolsters. And I love it because I'm older. And I just love a jig bone knife anyway. But when you put the colors to it, so well made, and you add the Damascus blades, I mean, you just really have a winner. And you have a Delica. You know, the Delica is one of those smaller knives. You see a lot of knife makers, including Spyderco, they have the big knives. They still do, you know, the military. They just released the Military 4. They're doing all their big knives. But man, these little knives, a lot of people like them. Just easy EDC knives. And the Delica is really easy. Now remember, we talked about the burnt orange HAP 40 knife. Well, Knife Center did a really nice exclusive. As you guys know, Spyderco works with a lot of distributors to do their own exclusives. And what they did was they took that HAP 40 steel blade and they added it to this pack of wood. Look at that, the pack of wood handle scales. And it's a, you know, it just feels great. It's not a natural wood. It's like the stuff that you would put on, you know, your floors or on a wall or something. But it feels like natural wood. They did a great job on these scales. They really did. Feels great in the hand. You've got a wonderful steel, a super steel, and of course the form factor of a Delica as well. I just introduced these two, and these are the Zome, Z-O-M-E handle knives. Spyderco will be coming out with a lot of these. This is a special Japanese art form. Now, in this case, this one actually is S30V steel, which I was thrilled to have. Spyderco is starting to do that. I love them playing with the different type of blades on both the Delica and the Endura. I love that. Same with the Paramilitary 2 on their standards, or the I just blanked on it. Or the Native. I love on their standards when they do that. So not only do you get a Delica with S30V steel, a great stainless steel, way up from the VG10. This is a VG10 one, but you also get these wonderful handles. Now, Zome, like I said, is a Japanese art form. In this case, it's a green FRN, and then they bring in a artist who hand drips the other color on it. In this case, I believe it was a pink handle, and they came in with purple and dripped them on. So all of the handles are unique because they are handmade. They're still light. They still weigh 2.5 ounces. They're just a little bit more unique. And of course, that one is S30V steel. This is your regular VG10. Now, I found these, and I went crazy. You know, once you start getting hooked and you get stuck on a knife or two, and you'll see a lot of these as we go through my collection, these Saturday where I do the sub collections, you see me getting hooked on certain knives. But I found this. This is an exclusive from Car Arms, K-A-H-R. I hope that's how you pronounce it. They make guns. Now, I hear a lot of complaints about this. They go, well, all they did was shorten it and it still cost. But it was made for them, for their gun buyers. And what they did was they took the same martial artist, I just blanked on his name, that created the Yojimbo for Spyderco, to make your ordinary Delica into a really tactical knife. Now remember, the Yojimbo is a real tactical knife. Now you can use these as an EDC. They're almost a Wharncliffe blade with a little bit more belly. But really, he really uses this shape, easy penetration as it gets thicker as you penetrate it. And so you can see them wanting that shape in a real lightweight package that could be carried with someone who has a gun as well. You can use it for EDC and a last ditch effort for tactical as well. It also makes that knife edge a lot smaller. It's 2.5 inches now, not just really close to that 3-inch that the regular one is. They made it in black with black FRN, and they designed it so they could blend into your black jeans or black pants. Khaki, again, to blend in with your khaki pants, and blue for your blue jeans. There's also a gray coating on these blades. That's how you spell it. It's the Car Arms Delica. It's exclusive. You buy them off of their sites. You can probably find them on the internet elsewhere as well. And then this year, I'm recording this early 2018, January 2018. But in late 2017 and early, this is one of the early 2018, Spyderco first introduced with this knife, VG10 steel, first introduced the Wharncliffe, their Wharncliffe Delicas, which makes sense, right? Very handy, full flat ground blade, VG10 steel, very handy with Wharncliffe. Just an easy use of that blade shape. And then they came out with this one, S30V steel with the Wharncliffe blade. So an upgraded steel. I think we can expect to see more Wharncliffe Delicas with a lot of different steels. S30V steel with the Wharncliffe. It's a shiny orange, just a real nice knife, easy to handle. I love the Wharncliffe blades on the Delica. I really do. And then this one might be a bit controversial. It's actually the Mantra 1. This is basically a Delica. Blade, look at the handle. Everything is a Delica. It is a flipping Delica. Spyderco released this. It's just a wonderful knife. They released it with a Mantra 2, which has a different profile blade. But this is the Delica with the Delica blade, full flat grind, super steel, Crucible's M4 steel. It's not stainless. A lot of people are upset that it's not stainless. Spyderco just announced at SHOT Show that this year they'll be releasing the Mantra 3. And they chose the Delica shape, but it'll have S30V steel instead. They improved the flipping as well. I think this flips great. The other one is supposed to flip even better. So look out for that. But I love it. If I had a dream of what would be the best Delica I could ever have, it would be a titanium Delica that flips. And that's what this is. Now you throw in the super steel as well. My favorite deep carry clip. It's a with the Chris Reeve integral frame lock. Those are the elements to me that would make just an excellent Delica. So whenever I talk about Delicas, I include the Mantra as a flipping Delica. I don't care what they name it. It's a great Delica knife. There you have it. That's my Delicas in the collection. Stay with me. As new Delicas are released, I'll have them and I'll add them to the collection and add them to these videos. If you enjoy these videos on the weekends and the knife of the day, please don't forget to thumb it up. The thumbs up have gone almost non-existent. They just tell me to keep going. It's easy. It takes you a second. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss videos like this. You guys have a perfect day. Hey, do me a favor. Actually, you're doing yourself a favor and your friends and family, but just take a few moments. Turn off all that social media. I watch way too much of it. And spend some time alone. Sometimes that's the toughest time, but do it. It makes you feel better, healthier, and prepare you to be a better father, brother, husband, or whatever. You guys have a very, very nice day. No, a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.